Hello and welcome to the Red Button Marketing Training podcast. This is Button Banter. We're going to be having amazing conversations with people in the region who are in marketing roles and running businesses. We're going to be talking more about their marketing journey, experiences, and thoughts and feelings around what marketing is and how it features in their business. So stay tuned and enjoy the podcast. This is Button Banter. Welcome to this edition of Button Banter. And before I introduce today's guest, I just need to say we are joined this afternoon by a legend, and I am not underestimating that. So part of our business is involved with Middlesbrough Football Club, and we are one of the sponsors on the women's team. So there's a couple of clues. I'm going to say England player. I'm going to say Spartans. I'm going to say legend. And just because later on we're going to talk royalty, oh yes, I have great pleasure in introducing today's Button Banter guest. Maz is with me this afternoon. Good afternoon, Maz.
Good afternoon to you, lad.
This is a Maz and Mags show. Maz, would you like to just introduce me? Now, I've called you Maz. Okay. I know you have a slightly longer name.
I have. Yeah, Marrie Wieczorek.
There you are, Marrie, but everyone calls you Maz.
Yeah, because it's so much easier.
We love that. We love that. Welcome to the Button Banter. Today we are just literally going to chat and have some fun around your stories. And honestly, how we're going to pack quite a lot into a short time is going to be a bit of an interesting challenge. But challenges is the name of the game, isn't it really, Maz?
Definitely. It would be a challenge. You and I, definitely.
So we'll have to have a rerun. We'll have to have like a what's that called again? Like a not a replay. What do you do when you do two legs? Like we'll have to do two legs.
Yeah,
we'll have to do two legs of the podcast. So Maz, there you are. Enough from me for a second. Tell me a little bit about, so Maz, tell us about you and where you're at and what you're doing and your history.
Right. Well, obviously, I'm very, very, very much older than I was when all the football started. I currently work for Middlesbrough Football Club at the Football Foundation. I couldn't remember what I was doing there. And I go into schools doing PE. Sometimes it's football, obviously after school football, and also covering term times, different PE sessions, lessons, which primary schools mainly for me, though I have done like older, I've been in colleges as well over the years. And I'm also going into care homes with where older people are doing, obviously not doing PE though.
No.
But I love being in the schools with the children.
Oh, it's fantastic, isn't it, really? Yeah. So, needless to say, you have an absolutely amazing career, don't you, Maz? To be fair, you're doing that right now, but tell us where you started out with all this. Tell us a bit about your journey.
Well, for the football journey, played football from as long as I could remember. My parents said that from the minute I could walk and run about, I would have a ball at my feet. I think my mother played as well when she was younger, but she died when, I've got three sisters, and she died when we were all, well, I was about 11, I think. So I never got to find the whole stories there. Uh-huh. However, my dad, who was Polish and came here after the war, met my mum. He was a football fanatic, a Boro lunatic. Loved them, absolutely loved them. And we often went to, well, as I got older, we went to games together. Which as I used to make him run to the match because I was always late, cutting across to get to Ayresome Park. But I started from early age, obviously in the streets, playing all the time. And at primary school, I could play. A lot of my friends were boys. There was girls as well, but obviously I played football at lunchtime and after school, and in the park we'd all go. And one time they did ask me, one of the teachers said I could play for the team when I was year 6, which will be about 10, 11-year-old.
Yeah.
But I did go with them and watch the games, but I would never ever play. I know nobody will understand this when I say I used to be shy, and I just didn't think I could do it. And
we'll come back to that.
Yeah, well, I used to look where I'd get changed on a Saturday morning. It was one massive big changing room where it'd be about 50 teams would go in, and there was no girls. And I thought, I'm not going in there. So that probably put me off as well.
Yeah. God, that's just amazing, though. A great start, like you say, starting so young. They're just that natural talent. I think that's just amazing that you discovered that. I mean, that's a great thing that you were playing football at a young age. And you obviously just, there was something in you that just drew you to it.
Well, you'll find that when people do talk about girls when they're playing football, it's the same as young boys. You can straight away, you know whether they're natural or not. So it was kind of, but I didn't actually get to play for a team until I was 19.
Right.
Still chasing those 12 years.
Yeah. So what was the first team that you played for, and when was that?
The first team was 1976, when this current Middlesbrough team have originated from that. It's all the one same club.
Yeah.
And it was formed in 1976 as Cleveland Spartans.
Cleveland Spartans, so 76. Wow, Maz.
Yeah. No, I'm not quite 76.
No, I was going to say no. So Maz was like, I'd like to say Maz was like 4, when she formed Cleveland Spartans, but okay.
Unfortunately not, no.
But that is some legacy, really, because now for people listening, they hear about Middlesbrough Women's Football Club, and obviously the great news recently that the women's and the men's team, that it's all aligned, it's all one club. But that must mean a lot for you to see that progress. But looking back to 1976, when it started as Cleveland Spartans, because that's where the roots are, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and I wasn't there at the very, very beginning. I think my understanding is that am I allowed to say the name of the bank?
Oh, yeah.
A Barclays Bank, and they had a five-a-side competition on, and I think it was for women. So a few people had joined the team there and they played in that, and they liked it that much. They formed 11-a-side. So that was in probably the May of that year, April, May, and then by the September they'd formed a team and joined a league.
That's brilliant.
And I think I joined about October time, because at that time I was working at Ponting's holiday camp.
Oh my God, I love that. What were you doing at the holiday camp?
I was a waitress.
Yeah.
I loved it. Down at Bracklesham Bay on the south coast, and then near Lowestoft, I was there.
Oh, really? That's great round that area. Yeah. That is brilliant. I'm just sort of picturing now, I've got the whole black and white thing in my head, so I'm just imagining you in the black and white, like, waitressing or, outfit.
Royal blue.
Was it royal blue?
With little white folded over kind of napkin almost.
Oh, nice.
As goes a hat.
I love that.
It was great.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved it. But obviously football came.
Yeah. You weren't dribbling. I don't mean like dribbling over the food. I mean, you weren't dribbling a ball while serving food. That would be multitasking.
There was one game that came up where we played against the kitchen porters, and it was supposed to be all the waitresses, where I enjoyed that. We did have one game, but that was it.
Right. Oh, that's brilliant.
And I only found out because my sister sent me a cutting from the Evening Gazette when they were asking for people, any women interested in playing football. So she sent it to me, and I couldn't wait for the season to end then.
Yeah.
Like the Ponting season.
Yeah.
And then hot-tailed it back here, yeah.
Fantastic. So seasons have been a bit of a thing in your life, really, hasn't it, to be fair? Yeah. And that's amazing. So you came back, got involved in Cleveland Spartans, had a fantastic career, in that team. How long did you play in that team for?
I actually played for 22 years. I stopped playing when I was 40. And then obviously during that time I was playing manager, and then after I stopped playing I was manager. So altogether I was there for about 36 years.
That's incredible legacy at that club, really, to be fair. And I think it's an important point to pick up on, because, this is Button Banter, but we have a chat around people and their journeys, experiences, but also a little bit around that subject of marketing, But it was something we were talking about even before we came on to record, but talking about the name of the club, because it was Cleveland Spartans.
Yeah.
But have I got this right? That I think you were definitely fighting for a change there, weren't you, Maz?
Absolutely. Yeah, almost. Once I got into the club and I wasn't shy, all the time I used to keep saying, can we be Middlesbrough? Can we be Middlesbrough? And the person in charge was saying, oh no, it's Cleveland. There's people coming from all over. But it was just burning inside of me all the time. Because to me, that the name had to be Middlesbrough Ladies. Everything's Middlesbrough FC. But it did come eventually, a few years later, and obviously nobody prouder than I was. It was Middlesbrough. But after Cleveland Spartans, we were called Cleveland Ladies for a time. But then with sponsorship, we were known as Boro Electronics.
Oh,
Madison Ladies, which is the old nightclub in Middlesbrough.
Oh, brilliant.
They sponsored us one year. So we did have different changes of names before we got to the best one.
It's fascinating though, isn't it? Because in a way that's very much around the subject of marketing, branding and identity.
Absolutely.
The things that we just think and talk about every day, but and now, but looking back then, those changes, but it was, like you said, it was burning inside of you to have that real clear identity and brand around that women's team. And I just think that when you think to now where we are, so how do you feel that now seeing the coming together of the men's and the women's team at Middlesbrough? How does that make you feel?
I think it's fantastic. It's just the best thing ever, especially for this area. There are loads and loads of girls that play football now in this area. There's loads of really gifted, talented girls. And I've seen the younger ones on a Sunday at the local sports village. I have a niece who plays, and it's great to see them like age 5, 6, 7. And there's some really talented, natural players there. It's great to see it. And the support that's coming from obviously the fathers, but the parents and mums are always there. Nothing can happen without mums. Don't care what anybody says. Mums are the bedrock of everything.
Absolutely.
But there's dads are there, grandparents, even the brothers come to support and do it. So it's great to see.
I think there's a real thing, isn't there? A real family vibe around football. And actually, I do think that football unites so many people. So it's absolutely right that it should be bringing together the men's and the women's game, Well, I mean, football over the years, it's had a really bad name. I mean, it was in my youth when there was lots of trouble in the 70s and the 80s. But at the same time, you can see over the years how uniting it is as well, and how just, if you've got a child, a boy or a girl now as well, obviously, and they can be in a team and they're really into it passionately, then there's a way forward for them all the time. They've got that purpose, and normally they're that, passionate about it, that they're never going to miss a game. They're not going to be messing about in the streets at night and getting caught out doing things because there's nothing for them to do. But it's great. It keeps them on the right road. And like you say, you go there, you see people at the game and you talk to people. It's just a great atmosphere. It really, really is. And I was watching something, I think, the other night, and they were saying about, there's a lot more focus on kind of sport, on children generally anyway, to try and encourage them to have good habits, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
But I think those really key words you said there, which is purpose, passionate. And I think giving an opportunity for some space to showcase your talents or showcase that energy. And I think that's the great thing about football, because we were saying, I asked you before what positions you played, because was it midfield you were?
Yeah, I used to love central midfield. That was my favourite. I mean, everybody, when they start, everybody thinks they're a forward.
Yeah.
You soon find out.
A striker.
Yeah, you soon find out you're not. But central midfield, because then I could be involved in the game all the time. And I used to be like in each box to box all the time. And it was great for me, because that's what I wanted to do, and I was always involved, and I loved it. Then as I started to get older, central defender, and then eventually I was playing sweeper, which I really enjoyed, because sweeper position, like older people know what it is. You can hang back, and I just used to make the centre half do all the hard work. Yeah. When they missed the ball, it would come to me, and I would just, I'll pass it here. Yeah. No pressure.
No pressure. Done that before. Yeah. When you were manager then, what were your team talks and match prep? What was that like?
I can't tell you.
The
take us off air.
I was going to say, hang on. No, it needs to be after the watershed.
No, it's like everyone says, like all kinds of things go on in the changing room, and that's the best place for it. Of course, you're going to be heated. There's going to be heated exchanges. People don't agree with each other. Mistakes are made. People call each other. That's fine. Just get it out in the open. Sort it out. As long as when you're on that pitch, you are 11 players from the same team fighting for each other. And I don't mean physically with fisticuffs, but backing each other. Yeah. That's the best feeling anybody can have. Team.
Oh, yeah. Isn't it just? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I think that whole, for me, this is where there's just no question about it, that I think that the connection between, for me, marketing and football is just overwhelming, because for me, I see that marketing as, if it's a process that's involving a team performing to win, hello. That's what happens in football. But you've all got to be able to see and communicate. Heads up, isn't it?
Yes.
Look what you're doing, kind of thing. Look at each other, like you say, supporting each other. And
you don't even have to like each other. No. It's impossible for everybody to like everybody.
Yeah.
But even if you don't like some of your teammates, or you don't get on with them really well, once you're on that pitch, once that ball kicks off, then that's it. You're all one team together.
Yeah, absolutely. And training and that discipline and having that structure. But I think that's something quite comforting in a way about that, because like you say, everyone's then kind of got that same page.
Yeah.
Personality aside for a moment, everyone's got that focus, and there's a real positive around that. And it's a great way to channel energy, isn't it?
Plus the social side, now for children who don't go out and play in the streets, if they're in some kind of a club, any kind, for me, obviously it's football, physical games, or it might be anything else. It's been part of something. And like now, I am still in touch with the majority of the original players from Cleveland Spartans, the oldies. I've got that group still there.
Yeah, fabulous.
Not all the time, but it's like being back yesterday. Once we meet up, that's it. We're back again in all the old stories. But then because I was there so long with, after they had left, I stayed and I played longer, and then I was manager. So there's different age groups of people that I could still meet up with who I've been through that they've been the same journey. Yeah. Like, even though I wasn't playing with them, I was there training with them.
Exactly. Well, you were training, and that's right. And then also with your role as a manager, you'll be seeing people now that you looked after as a manager. And I think that takes us nicely onto something that you're looking at the minute, because we were talking before about timelines. And this means a lot to you, I think, as well, doesn't it? And I think this is a really good thing. Tell us about the timeline project that you're looking at right now.
Yeah, well, when Middlesbrough FC this season, it was announced that Middlesbrough Women would be part of the club officially and going along professional lines. It's almost like full circle, or, oh, that's it. That's exactly what we want. So I just thought, we've got to get together. We've got loads of cut-ins, like oldies, those old ones, and I've got loads of stuff there. So I want to do a timeline, like the history of it. So from 1976 up to present date, try and get the main things in, like the names the team were called, the leagues we played in. There's a lot of information we do have where it gives us our league titles and everything that we've won, because fabulous. We did something in one of the leagues for about 7 years. We won the title. We were up at the highest. We were in the, what would be the equal now to the Women's Super League, and then the two leagues that come into that. We were at that position for a few years in the FA. So the top 32 teams in the country. And originally when they did the National League, before it was professional, but there was a National League, the teams, we were invited, but you had to have a guarantee at that time. So I'm going back a long time, of 25,000 or more in the bank. And it was like, well, we didn't have 25 quid.
No.
So you got no
25 pence.
Yeah, so Doncaster Bells were the big team then. As long as, and Arsenal have always been a big team, but we just couldn't go in that league, so we missed out there. But over the years, we've had consistently really good, strong teams.
Yeah, I think this is quite a fascinating thing. And actually, listening to you about the timeline, and it was 1976 was a really key marker. Was it 8? Did you say you started your England career in 80, wasn't it? Was that right?
I was very fortunate to represent my country, and from 1988, it was about 3 times, but
amazing.
It was about, obviously, it was 3 or 4 years after I joined Cleveland Spartans. Yeah, and to me, that's the biggest, proudest thing. When you hear the national anthem, it's just like tears to your eyes. I mean, I'm a proper baby now. I cry at the national anthem when I've been to Wembley recently, and obviously when the women won the European Championship, I'm bawling my eyes out and thinking, thank God no one can see me. Yeah. But it's pride.
Brilliant.
It's pride.
It is.
I can't understand anybody who plays for England and does not sing the national anthem. It drives me crazy when they don't. Yeah. I think you should be proud.
Exactly. But I think you're right, though. Surely all this it sparks emotions, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it supposed to do that? And that's a good thing, because I think, the alignment again with mental health, I think, as well. And like you're saying, encouraging, younger people coming through, girls or boys getting involved in the sport. But I think it's about positive thinking and allowing those emotions to come out. And I think that's great for our heads. Yeah. Really, isn't it? Absolutely. So like you say, let's get emotional at the national anthem. Let's do that.
The first time they played at Middlesbrough FC, I think it was 2012, there was a Great Britain team came, and then an England team, when they came, I mean, the Riverside was full. Yes. And I'm stood there like the national anthem come on, and I was crying then, thinking, not only is it the national anthem, which I'm super proud of, it's at my club, it's at Middlesbrough FC. And I was like, so proud. Yeah.
I think that is just absolutely brilliant. Were there any chance for the women's team that you can remember when you were playing?
What, for our team?
Yeah. There's a question.
I don't think. No. What you tend to do is it's the same chances as you would do, because obviously most of us went to watch the Boro as well. Yeah. And we knew all the songs and sang them, so you'd just change it for us.
It's fabulous. Honestly, there's so much good stuff. I do think we're going to have a second leg, to be fair, at some point of this as well. This podcast, honestly, we really will, because there's so much we could cover. But I think what's great as well on that whole timeline thing, because there's some really key bits there, and I'm just trying to get my head around some maths. Right, this is where we might need help. I don't know. Are you good at maths?
Normally, but we're just thinking back about. Yeah, not sure.
Like going to throw some numbers at you. You're like, churning it around. Okay, so I'm thinking 2024. We are now, and the women's team. may not quite got this year, but we're so close.
Very.
And I know that, you know, you and the rest of the team at the club were like, oh man, it wasn't maybe necessarily the aim, but the team have done so well this season. But I think next season will be a game changer. So that's going to 2025. So hang on a minute, would it not be quite exciting in 2026? Mm-hmm. You can see where I'm going here.
50 years.
Is that 50 years?
It would be,
yeah. What an amazing celebration, wouldn't it, of that timeline of yours, if you like.
That would fit in very nicely.
Wouldn't it be nice? Because I'm just kind of thinking, we don't need to end the story, do we, Maz? If you do the timeline, it's almost a bit like open-ended, because let's just see what 2026 has to offer. Yeah. What would mark that 50th?
It would be great if it was like...
a promotion, do you know what I mean? Incredible.
Next season, get up into that, and then in 2026 do it would be fantastic.
What an achievement.
Just where Newcastle have just gone this year.
Yeah, not that we're setting any pressure here, Maz, are we?
No pressure, young people. Nothing for Middlesbrough women. No pressure.
Ben Fisher and...
You've got 2 years.
2 years to just transform everything. But it's just an interesting thing. Now, obviously, we are in the presence here today of that, you know, the word legend. I said that to you before. How do you feel about that?
Embarrassed.
Oh, man. You are. Hey, look, we do have with us, you know, representing the region and the country in the England women's game. That's epic, Maz. But I need to ask you a question here. Right. So we consider you local royalty in the football world. Tell me, Maz, have you ever shown somebody else, maybe some royal people, how to play football?
Well, maybe you should call me Mom.
I'll call you Mom. What a great thing. And just for the listeners, that was not rehearsed, and I love that. Not that we do rehearse a podcast, guys. Just saying.
No, when the Riverside opened in 1995, I'd started working for Middlesbrough Football Club in 1992, Ayresome Park. And Frank Spraggan, who's an ex-Boro player, I used to go and watch him. He was also a coach, and the two of us represented football in the community. So Prince Charles came at the time to, I think it was the opening. It was either the opening or it was a Duke of Edinburgh Awards. So he was like coming to mix with like older kids, but we had primary school children, and we were just doing coaching things with them, Frank and I. Anyway, he came along to talk to us as well.
Brilliant.
Steve Gibson was with him, and obviously a load of journalists, photographers. And he came over and he was asking me things. Because obviously we're talking where are we, 95? All those years ago.
Yeah, I know. I know, it's all these numbers.
29 years ago, nearly 30 years ago. So he was asking about how I'd started working, and asked if I played football. And then they were asking him to kick the ball, the journalist, because I think they thought he would look like a Wally. Anyway, he did it perfectly. His arms were out for balance. He used the inside of his foot, and he was asking me. I said, yeah, that's perfect. So obviously there's lots of pictures, and I've got some, and my husband, who really super proud, he keeps telling everybody. I mean, before he used to say that I taught Prince Charles how to play football. Yeah. Now he goes on saying, she only taught the kid. I didn't teach him. I was there when he kicked the ball. It was great. We had a nice little laugh about it.
Brilliant.
But that's the claim.
That's the claim. I mean, I'm not being funny. There isn't many times we have this on Button Banter where we actually sat with someone who said, yeah, you know, I was with the king, like when he was kicking a ball, and he asked my opinion.
Yeah, it was good.
That's honestly, that's really good enough. You mentioned that you've got the pictures, and did you say that a family member had taken one to school? I mean, for those kids that do show and tell, I mean, I'm not being funny. That's like really, you know, can you imagine one of them takes in their pet or their toy rabbit or something, I don't know, or whatever, or, you know, their cuddly toy, and they're telling the story of the cuddly toy, and someone else goes, here's my nan with the king playing football.
Yeah, always kind of, but the thing is, brilliant. Children are not always that impressed, so that's probably good. That'll bring us all back down to this.
Absolutely.
Who's he?
It's that, yes. Love it, absolutely love it. You know, so I mean, really, I think as well for people like listening now and that come into your circle and that you communicate with, you know, I think there's a great message to share about the women's game. You know, what message do you really want to send out now about the women's game and what people can do to help get involved or support? What do you think?
Well, I would say all along from when I've been involved, it's just I was always looking for equality the equal chance to play, because it was always frowned on, looked down on. Even when I was a child in primary school, oh, you shouldn't be playing, you're a girl. And loads of people will be able to identify with this, girls and women, because they all had the same thing growing up. But for me, the fact that equality, I don't want more. I don't want to be put further ahead. But all your women, so we do it. No, equality.
Yeah.
Give everybody, every girl have the same chance as every boy to play football at an early age, to maybe be spotted, maybe go to an academy, then get picked up for a club, go forward. Give them the same chance, which is why with women's, quite a lot of the teams turning professional or semi-professional, making their way that way. I think it's great, because then the opportunity is there for the girls who are good enough and the ones who can strive to be that good, because it takes all kinds to be part of a team.
Yeah.
But it's the opportunity to have the same chance. So you'll see, I think the England women are very good to watch. And years ago, I could have said to you, oh, no, it's terrible. Oh, look at this. But I think they're very, very good to watch. And that's because all of those who play for England are full-time professionals. So they can spend the time, they can be fit. We had to, go to work 9 till 5, or even longer for me. I had a child, I had a home to look after. So I did all that, training twice a week, running the club, all day Sunday, either playing or driving the bus and all of that. But nothing would have stopped me from doing that, because that was what I wanted to do. That was our passion. Whereas now, if they've got the equal chance to have as much time to put into making themselves better, then great. And look at any girl now from whatever age, whether you make it in a team or not, there's still all the other things that are connected to football.
Absolutely. And don't you think as well, for a region and for this area, and it's great for the whole area, certainly as well. But for Middlesbrough as a town, it's a really good beacon, isn't it? To bring people to it, support the town, showcase what's going on, and really kind of, there's a lot of reference used to levelling up, but I kind of think they'll just level a load of stuff up, you know what I mean? Which is really good, great for the area. And I think there's a real opportunity, for the club and the team to really take that message forward.
Yeah, and I mean, the fact that it's Middlesbrough FC, for me, obviously I'm from Middlesbrough, I'm Middlesbrough through and through, and we'll have people who aren't from Middlesbrough, but it's the pride of representing Middlesbrough, and the fact that Middlesbrough FC is a well-known football club, and it's the name which I think that they should be yes, we're going to push them further. Yeah. Let's have people come here to support both the men's team and the women's team. Yeah. They're both very good.
Absolutely.
Great area. North East is great for football, we know that, but it's also very, very good for female footballers.
Yeah, and I think let's go with it and take it forward. I think that's absolutely, fantastic. And we've got, this will be going out shortly, but just we can say there is another match left. As we're recording this, there is another match left for the ladies. So who knows where that will take us. And we're going to do a very, very tiny shout out to a group of people. And you might know what I'm going to say here now, Maz. To a group of people that I met recently at one of the that we did all meet at the recent women's match at Norton. But I've got to give a shout out to the Boro Women Ultras, the set of lads that were at the match, scarves, banners. I think I lent them the bongos, my Boro bongos, but anyway. But do you know what? That just showcased to me, like you were saying, just about that level playing field, basically. Everyone's there, this group of young lads who've made up chants. I think one of them, I was going to ask you about this, but I think one of the chants was it, gimme, gimme, gimme a blondie from Durham. She wears number 7 and she plays on the wing. I think was what it was. Possibly. I think that's what it was. But these group of lads that turned up, and I just thought, that's amazing.
Yeah, I was super impressed with them, because
fabulous.
They were only young, 12, 13s, and normally, they've got bad for. Oh, look at them, they come to cause trouble, but they were great. They were singing all the Boro songs.
Yep.
They were supporting the team. It was fantastic to see, and I'm sure they were there last year as well, so I'm glad you caught them and made a fuss of them.
And I thought they were fantastic. They've got an Instagram page, and I just think it's about absolutely also supporting those people that kind of get involved, that show, like you said before, a bit of passion, you know what I mean, enthusiasm, and get behind the team. And I just thought that was absolutely fantastic. It's that kind of support we need. We need to nurture that and build on that and take that forward into next season. So you heard it here first, guys. Check out the Boro Women Ultras as well. We'll do a shout out. But it's about the support. It's the whole thing, isn't it?
Yes.
It's the players. It's the team around the players. It's the support of the club. It's everyone involved in training. And then it's the fans, the supporters, everybody involved. And that's why it's such a big community thing. Like you said, big family. It's a family thing. Yeah. Let's unite everybody. And
plus, there's so much support from all of the players' own families as well. So it has to be recognised. I mean, that's how we got by in the early years. Like, we were always asking for money, sponsor, jumbo sales. But family is so important. But it's not just the female part; it's the males as well. The brothers,
absolutely,
their uncles, the dads, the granddads. It's fantastic to see the whole range. Everybody going along to support girls.
And I just think it's great that we've had this opportunity to chat. And what's brought us together is the match. It's the team, isn't it, Maz? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the Maz and Mag show this afternoon, guys. Watch out for the second leg. I think we'll call it a draw. Do you think we've got a draw this afternoon, Maz?
Yeah.
Or do we think? Or should I really be saying I think it's 2-0 to you?
No, I think it's just we've had a...
Is it a 1-1?
Equal. That's what
is it equal? It's 1-1. Absolutely right. I was going to say, give me the result, Maz. I feel like we should be commentators.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
We should be sat here. We've got here with our headphones and our microphones. We should be commentating on the match. Would you want to do that if Sky knocked on your door?
Not so much Sky, but I did once do one of the England games at the Riverside. It was for, I think it was BBC Radio Cleveland. They asked me if I would sit alongside, and it was just like knowing some of the England players. And I did enjoy it, but I certainly wouldn't take it up as a career. I think they just like pull the plug on me. I'd never show up.
Would you be on subs bench?
I'd just say she's got to show up, pull the plug. And of course, I'd be saying everything was wrong if it didn't go Middlesbrough's way.
Yeah, well, absolutely. We're a bit biased here, possibly.
Only slightly.
Absolutely. Well, it leads me to say up the Boro, obviously, up the Boro Women, the UTB, UTBW, or the hashtags. But really, as well, I just need to absolutely say thank you to you, Maz, for the opportunity. And I want everyone to just kind of get behind Maz's campaigns and timelines and let's just really sort of showcase the history of everything that's gone on. And I think you are absolutely the most amazing representative voice and person to take that forward. And I think everyone should be super proud that you're here, part of the club, part of the heritage, but massive part of the future. Do you know what I mean? I think it's fantastic.
From what you said there, everybody's going to think I've paid you. Thank you very much.
You could just buy me a coffee or a season ticket. Anyway. But hey, Maz, honestly, I just want to say thanks for your time. I'll be seeing you at future matches.
Yes.
And we might be doing a bit of shouting, mightn't we?
Absolutely. Yep. It was my pleasure. Thank you so much.
Honestly, fantastic. Thanks so much, Maz. Take care. See you again soon at Button Banter.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you for joining us today on the Red Button Marketing Training Podcast. You have been listening to Button Banter, so keep your eyes and ears peeled for more news and the next episode coming very soon.